All right, so we had a little bit of a hiccup there. Blame Marcus. It's all his fault. All right, Marcus. We were talking about Killer Kelly, and you're right. You know, like Gail Kim wouldn't bring in anyone that wasn't someone who could help the brand. Like Gail Kim is the head of this. Hairball. Gail Kim is the head of this brand, and she's going to have pretty ubiquitous say over who comes in and how they're booked. So I have to imagine she's in a good place, as in Killer Kelly. I don't think she'd be brought in if they thought she had any issues still to deal with, or she was unhealthy physically or mentally. So I feel like this is a good opportunity to see what she can do, and I'm very excited about this. It needs to be stated because there is a little confusion when I talk about Killer Kelly. She is not Kelly Klein from Ring of Honor. Kelly Klein was the big women's champion for a year or two. She was married to BJ Whitmer. Then she kind of had some issues. I think Whitmer. Who was it? Was it Whitmer? No, it was Joey Mercury. Started talking about how there are a lot of issues with Whitmer and Kelly and Ring of Honor, and like the whole thing kind of just spiraled out of control until she eventually left the company and has not wrestled since 2019 that I can find. So Killer Kelly's not Kelly Klein, but she's probably just as good as Kelly Klein, if not better. So this is a big addition, big old addition. I think fans will like what they get from her. But you know, it's been a while since she's been consistently active, at least that I'm aware of. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do in the ring.
Yeah, and I hope, like you said, she's clean and clear and got everything cleared, obviously, personally, because I liked her and we talked about it extensively, but we wouldn't want to run into another situation like we had with the young Kylie, Smiley Kylie, you know.
Yeah. Apparently, a little bit of the issue as to why it took her so long to come back to wrestling isn't just because of her mental health. It was because she was locked in her own country. Apparently, they had a pretty bad lockdown. I think she's. God, if I go back, am I going to have issues with the internet again? I think she's Portuguese. Yes, she's Portuguese. And
Yeah.
Portugal, regardless of what people may actually think, is not in South America. This is another one of those things that I have to keep reminding people. Portugal's in Europe. So Europe has had some pretty tough lockdowns over the last few years. Fuck, it's been that long. So yeah, it's great to have her back. I'm excited, and I think fans should know her a little bit from the UK brand out there with the WWE.
Yeah, we think we finally got a time we might got by the time we got Mike Bailey back, he felt like a DLC character we had unlocked.
Like the old N64 DLC character unlocking, not the pay to play DLC that you got to spend $15 for, but you're only getting cosmetics in one character. Now, fuck that noise. I've completed the game 100%. I get my Speedball Mike Bailey character. I don't got to pay for shit. So, last story. Apparently, we're getting the return of Naomi and Sasha, if we haven't already. I didn't watch Raw, so I don't know.
No, they didn't pop up. They just
So, let's see here. It says Santos Escobar was the person I was thinking of before with the dumbass name, which is the terrible, awful name.
Oh, the El Hijo El de Fantasma, aka why am I forgetting his name? Freaking the Hunter from Lucha Underground. Why the freak am I forgetting his name?
No, God damn it, I'm Mil it was King something.
King Cuerno, there it is.
King Cuerno.
Yeah.
There it is. King Cuerno.
Yeah,
Right.
and Impact, El Hijo de Fantasma, the son of the ghost.
So he's Santos Escobar?
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. So a significant update has developed regarding the WWE statuses of Sasha Banks and Naomi. Fucking hiccups. Wrestling News Co., you know they're reliable, reported earlier that they were told that an agreement has been reached for both to return to the company. Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer Live podcast stated that a source confirmed that report to him. He said that he believed the report was accurate, but couldn't say 100% definitively that it was true. So, you know, here we are. Bring him back, don't bring him back. I'm kind of just over the drama of it all. Not even drama. You got to throw in the extra W in there, the drama.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. Is the return of Becky and Banks? Wait, nope. None of that is right. Naomi and Banks. I don't know why I said Becky. Is the return of Naomi and Banks going to get you enticed to watch more Raw or SmackDown?
My boy got Bex on the brain. It's okay. It'll fade. Yeah, I think there were 2 hits to that division, losing to them. We obviously know where Banks is, and then Naomi still, has not had as much success as she probably should have has had all these years. But I do appreciate them for just to kind of taking account for themselves, and like, I'm not finna stay somewhere I'm not valued, and taking the ball and going somewhere else with it for a little while, and it's kind of serendipitous that things worked out the way that they did, and I can see them coming back, because I mean it's kind of awkward seeing Jimmy there and not seeing her. And Sasha, she's just, I mean, she almost really honestly wouldn't fit nowhere else. So I hope they do come back. Hope they, kind of revitalize things with these women and get stuff revved up again. I'd certainly rather see them back right now than Charlotte. We know that's imminent. So enticing me to watch Raw, I'm more of a SmackDown kind of guy, but neither show is hitting on anything worth a damn. Like, I'd far more be more enticed to watch. And a lot of these shows I've been seeing look good. These wild shows.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the women of wrestling. You talk about characters. They look like they got a lot of interesting characters on that show.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of intrigued, because they're going back to the '80s style of big, dynamic, bombastic personalities. That's what I want.
Yeah. So shout out to Danhausen.
Yeah, he's kind of the prototypical kind of like, that's what I want. I want that dumb, fun character.
He was so close to being an FTW champion.
So close. It's all right. Even though the Danhausen didn't win the title Hausen, he still has the Fanhausens. And that is the best gimmick in the history of gimmicks. So, just, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. All right, Marcus. Final thoughts on this week. I finished Stranger Things season 4.
Wow, I've never seen an episode. How was it? Was it everything people talked about? Because apparently that show is gone damn near they completely sci-fi at this point, right?
Well, they've always been sci-fi, but now they've really, like, they got the budget to do more. Here's the funny thing, I don't like the sci-fi. I am very much more involved in the interpersonal relationships with these dumbasses than anything else. Like, there's a love triangle with the 3 oldest kids, and they're all in their late 20s now. Like, the one character, Steve Harrington, the dude who plays him is 30, but he's playing 18. All right,
And like, to be one of the awkward things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like, one of the characters came out to one of the other characters in season 3 as a lesbian, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool. Who do you like?" "Oh, her. She's a total dud." And they started talking about girls together, and I was like, "That's adorable. I love it." But like, then they're like, "Oh," and this one character threw the other character into another dimension, and he turned into like a Freddy Krueger monster. Oh my God! I'm like, I don't care. Go back to why those 2 kids broke up. I want to know why Max and what's his face broke up. No, go back to that. He's got a high top fade. How do you break up with a person with a high top fade? Marcus, kid in play. You don't break up with kids with high top fades. That's rule number 1. I want to know why they broke up. They don't tell you. I mean, they kind of allude to it. It's because she's all like depressed and shit. But like, I want more. There are some good sci-fi moments in the show. Like, the entire kind of final was great. And like, the thing that really irks me is like, the fans suck.
The fans, hilarious. I love it.
So, like, we've watched enough entertainment in our lives to know, like, yeah, that's the red shirt. That's the dude or dudette who's getting, 86th. But these fans are so obnoxious that anyone they kind of slightly like cannot die. And I don't know if it's like the fatigue of like The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones where everyone died all the time unexpectedly and now fans just don't want anyone to die, but it's like they created a character in season 4 just to die and it was like, why did you kill her off? Because killing her off was part of the whole plot of the season. So like it kind of bugs me when these fans get obnoxiously interwoven into the goddamn series, which is why I'm so glad Flash is ending next year or this year. Because I still have a little bit of resentment of those goddamn Flaberries or what were they called? Irises, Allen berries, or what the fuck?
Yeah, like I'm so kind of glad they released the day that the Flash is gonna have a ninth and final season of 13 episodes, which is abbreviated. Thank God that it's already died a death. This is just kind of
this is the shotgun to the zombie bitten corpse.
Yeah.
What was the name of that goddamn ship though?
The West Allen.
West Allen. Oh God, I'm so glad that this show is gonna get a fucking shotgun blast to the head, just out of spite for those people.
And so much of that is that CW thing. Like you're not watching the show for the show. You got a ship fetish.
Mm-hmm.
Like how you vicariously living through fiction? I don't. I mean, Twitter's already filled with weirdos, but it kind of comes off very pathetic to me, specifically when people dedicate whole pages to the fictional people. But I get it, but I don't get it. But yeah, it's weird, man. Like if you don't have deaths in shows, it don't count. That's why I can't wait for you to go through the Orville because when they do stuff, it sticks.
Yeah.
And they don't have happy endings to stuff either. That's another thing. A lot of these shows feel like they always got to tie everything up in an episode.
You can if it's an episodic show like Star Trek was, like the OG 66 Star Trek. That makes sense because that was back when you knew that everyone was watching every episode, so you had to make sure that every episode wrapped up, unless you were doing a doubleheader in a night. Like there was an episode where they brought in Pike, who was in like a electric wheelchair thingy, but I'm pretty sure those aired back to back. It's like you didn't really have a lot of continuation. It's like every story wrapped up, but different times. But I also don't want 20 fucking episodes in the season that have the same narrative anymore. Like, give me 4 or 5, and then do something else.
Yeah, or do it like they started doing with
Young Justice.
Young Justice, where you have it in pods or whatever. Like this particular bit of episodes of the arc, and the next particular episodes are different. Like that whole going back to Smallville for a second. Like he was beefing with Jor-El until the very final season. He was beefed out with Jor-El. Like, I'm not listening to you. I'm not finna do drive to the point he was driving out of the city. You just hear Jor-El's disembodied voice over the episode. You will obey me, Kal-El. As he was beefed out the whole thing. But nowadays, like I said, it's all about these teen dramas with the people who are practically 40 playing teen dramas. Like they about to do a Teen Wolf movie.
Yeah, and they're all in their 30s. And did you see Tyler Hoechlin or whatever Hoechlin?
Yeah.
No. Tyler Hoechlin, Superman. Who played goddamn Teen Wolf? What was his name? He looks 40.
Yeah.
He's losing his hair. He's a little overweight. Like, what are we doing? Like, why? We don't need another season. The show should have ended after season 2. The show was solid, but they would always just drop storylines in between episodes. We talked before about how my least favorite thing in all of moviedom or TVdom is doing the 36 hours before intro, where it's oh, I'm about to die 36 hours prior. Fuck off. The other thing I hate is starting the story in the middle of the action. That's not cool. It's not exciting. It's obnoxious. Oh, why is this giant thing chasing this character I've never seen before? I don't know, but I don't give a shit. The episode before, the redhead with the big pouty lips was about to die. And now I'm looking at some 14-year-old running away from a giant polar bear. Why do I care? I'm not tuning in to see the shit. I want to see what happens to Pouty Lips face. That shit pisses me off because like it's a bait and switch. Don't bait and switch me. Star Trek tried to kill off Jean-Luc Picard at the end of season 3. You know what happened at the start of season 4? They told you if he died or not. That instant. We didn't wait 6 fucking episodes to find out. Just saying. I have some emotional trauma with the Teen Wolf franchise. I don't want it to come back.
Look, man, it was something. But like, I'm a werewolf guy. Like, the only reason why I watched the Twilight crap of it all because I like werewolves. But I've not seen an episode of Teen Wolf, and I'm probably never gonna watch it. It's just I don't.
First 2 seasons are actually solid. I would actually defend the first 2 seasons because there's some good twists. Roy Harper, Arsenal, whatever his name is, Colin. Wait, what's his name?
Colin, not Colin Donald.
It starts with a C. Colton Haynes, right? Colton Haynes.
Colton. Yeah.
He's in it, and he's awesome in it. He's such a great dick. Nope, I said that.
Such a great douchebag.
He is. He really is such a great villain. And that was great. The chick that was in Gotham that's fucked with Gordon.
Yeah, Falcone's kid or whatever. Yeah.
She's in it. She's great. What's his name? Lauren Ashby, I think his name. The original Johnny Cage from the first movie of Mortal Kombat. He's in it.
Yeah, the young Hercules, Ian Bowen's in it. Yeah.
Yep, he's in it. You had who else is in this fucking show? The mom was in a few other things that I think she was in The Walking Dead for a few seasons. So like, they have a great fucking villain in season 3, I think. So I would say the first 3.5 seasons, because they started doing the same thing that we talked about, where like they divided up the seasons midway through. So like the first 8 episodes of season 3 was about this blind werewolf alpha, and then like the second half was against something else completely different. But like that was the last good season. It was the first half of 3. The rest of it just went off the fucking rails. You started bringing in things like the kitsunes, and like then you had like a chupacabra in there at some point, and then like they had like 3 women who all looked the same, and I couldn't tell them apart, and I felt kind of racist about that because they were all Hispanic, and I'm like, they're all beautiful, but I can't. Who's who?
He said the chupacabra. That's hilarious. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they had the chupa because they turned like every mythic animal into like a were. Like it was like the were cabra, or like the were kitsune, or the were dog, or the were bird.
Hilarious.
Like fucking Colton Haynes was a were-lizard.
Jesus Christ.
They weren't technically were-lizards, but like I'm being a little bit facetious. But it was something. Like I think the character that Colton Haynes played got bit by a werewolf, but because he was so ugly with his soul, it turned him into something horrific or some nonsense like that. Plus, like the guy who played Commander Tall, I think that's right. From Battlestar Galactica is in it at some point as like the grandfather, and he's just like such a he played Deathstroke in Smallville, the old guy with the eye patch. He's in this.
Got you. So I mean, did they ever? I mean, did they?
Ty, that's the name.
Do they turn and fight as actual wolves? Or it's all like, oh, my wolf strength is gonna beat you in hand 9.
It's more like you have a cute nose and some sideburns now. Adorable.
Yeah.
But like the funny thing was like one of the, because like there's like a main family, and like anything involving, because it was Tyler Hoechlin's character and his family are like the super villainous big bads of the first season. But Hoechlin's not really a bad dude. He's just like associated with them because he's family. But they had a female member who went full wolf. And I think they intended to do all of them like that eventually, but I think they realized the budget wouldn't be able to do that. So they just kind of made it seem like only female alphas can go full wolf. So like there was definitely attempts made. I don't think I finished the series, truth be told. I think I stopped after like season 4. Maybe season 5. Hang on, let's see how many seasons there were.
But they do all the like the wolf hearing and the smell and all that.
Oh yeah, all of it. Like they had wolf strength, wolf hearing, wolf vision. I'm pretty sure there was some like sexual libido thing that came with the wolves as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a thing. I definitely didn't watch past season 5 because they did this weird fucking angle where they brought in like these like doctor characters, like they're all like kind of like 80s slasher film doctors, like they're all just like morbid and they could like walk through walls and claim people, and like that was like a
Yeah.
cool premise. Like, oh, this is cool. They're just snatching kids, but then it just went like they had no way to finish it. Like it felt like a Vince McMahon booked angle. We're gonna have so and so turn on so and so. All right, but what's the resolution? 40 matches,
40 matches, 50-50 booking in
right?
between the
50-50 booking. We can't afford to make anyone look bad. I want to say it was. I want to say it was season 5. I stopped watching. Let's see.
Is it also one of those things? I know I'm like getting the lowdown on it. Also, one of the things where people are like we have to hide our wolf selves from humans.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that works. I can appreciate that.
But like, listen, Holland Rodan will keep you watching the entire fucking series.
Holland Road End.
Holland, like the country, and Roden. Like she in the first 2 seasons was great, but then she became like a fucking banshee somehow. Like, I'm telling, this is the show the Flash was modeled after. You know how like we always complain about the Flash, like where everyone had to have powers eventually.
Yeah.
This is where they got that from. This is the fucking progenitor of that. Everyone had to have a power in this goddamn show. Because first it was just Scott. Scott was played by Tyler Posey. He was just the werewolf, and his buddy Styles was just his dude. And then they brought in like the other werewolf family was like the main crux of it. But like then all of a sudden like Holland Rodan became a fucking banshee. They introduced another crop of werewolves, and then another crop of werewolves, and another crop of werewolves, and then the replacement girlfriend for who the fuck was it? She's not even listed as a main cast anymore. Oh, that's because I'm on season 4. That's why. When they replaced, dude, wow, I thought she was alive past season 3. When they replaced Crystal Reed because she wanted to leave the show, they brought in another character by the name of Kira Yukamura, who was played by Arden Cho, and like she was. God, the women on the show are so poorly written. She was Scott's new girlfriend, but she was also a monster hunter who was also part kitsune, which is like a mischievous fox from Japanese folklore, and that could control lightning. And I'm like, what?
When would that ever come into play fighting wolves unless you could
All
be
the
like,
time.
oh, he's
All
too strong.
Marcus, it was the reoccurring crux of, well, if we can get Kira in the position, we'd have a chance.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It was all the
Jesus.
time. And all I was here for by the end of season 4 was finally seeing Lyndon Ashby hooking up with Scott Scott McCall's mom. Like that's all I was here for at the end of it. Melissa McCall. She was played by Melissa Punzio. Like that was the only thing I was here for. I was like, these two need to get together. Like now. This show. Like it starts off great. It really does. And like they do this great thing where like in season 2 they introduce like this rival set of wolves, and they bring in this dude named Isaac, and you think Isaac's gonna be like this terrible human being, and everyone hates him. But then like when Scott has to fight this big mega wolf dude, and like he's afraid to do it alone, all of a sudden he pops up at the end of the episode, and like he's like, Scott, I knew you thought you were gonna do this alone, but I'm gonna betray my friends and help you, and you're like, yeah. And then season 3 was so fucking terrible. I will say this though. I think season 2 was actually the season I was thinking of. Who the fuck did they bring in? Because he was somebody else that you would know. J.R. Bourne, no. Oh, he's pretty cool. Seth Gillum's in this. He plays Father Gabriel Stokes in The Walking Dead. Okay, so Ian Stewart Bowen is the blind werewolf, and he's fantastic. in this show, and he's on Yellowstone, so you should know who
Yeah,
he is.
yeah, he was the first young Hercules.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, okay, that's who that is. Yeah. He plays Peter Hale, and he's fantastic. And his just no. I'm sorry, no. I'm getting my characters confused. Peter Hale was the uncle of Tyler Hoechlin's character, and he was just a schmarmy douche the entire series, and the only reason to watch. So I would, yeah, him alone. He is fantastic. Let's see, who is the other guy? Declan. There it is. Gideon Emery. He was the best villain because he was the blind werewolf. Gideon Emery was, and he was he was blind, but he could like use his senses to be like the best, and he was also an alpha, which made him stronger. He was the best. He was awesome. Everything after his arc of season 3, just straight into the gutter. Because then we had like mystery doctors who were experimenting on monsters, and then we had like I don't even like we had something in Mexico that I can't even remember, and I'm pretty sure they were chupacabras. Like I'm not trying to be offensive when I say that. Like there was something like Mexican.
it has to be weird because I remember, even though I didn't watch it at the time, the same thing happened with Game of Thrones. I feel like this was like the buzzworthy show before Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember hearing a lot about Teen Wolf. I just never want to get into it because it's like Teen Wolf. Like I love wolves, but the teen drama of it all, just the hormones and the uncertainty and the flip flopping back and forth and the just forced drama of it all. So
Okay, so I didn't finish season 5 because I would have remembered this. So I think the first half. Oh, okay. It wasn't a chupacabra. It was a chimera. That's what I think they were fighting in Mexico, or maybe it was a hellhound. I don't know. There's a lot of dumb shit. Or maybe it was the Mexico border, whatever that's.
the Mexicools, Chad, they fought the Mexicools.
They fought the Mexicos. Yes. The ending of season 5, and this is how I know I didn't see it because I would have remembered this shit. A Nazi werewolf breaks out of the evil, creepy doctor's facility, like the evil, creepy doctors that were experimenting on everyone that I was telling you about. The end of that season, which I didn't finish apparently, had a Nazi werewolf.
Oh,
That's something that would have stayed with me.
These fuckers just always find a way to put Nazis in shit.
Well, like it's like when we were kids. Like I don't want you playing violent video games, but mom, it's a zombie. Oh, all right, that's fine. I don't want you playing violent video games, but mom, it's a Nazi. Oh, that's fine. You can kill Nazis.
Yeah, the eternal villain. Like,
right? Like if it was a zombie or a Nazi or somehow a zombie Nazi, you would always be allowed to play it because like who the fuck's gonna say you can't shoot a Nazi? If I remember the Third Reich came walking down my street, I'd be like, let me go get my baseball bat.
Unless they're Stormfront from what you call it, talk about spreading lightning. Jesus.
That's one of those where I go get a lightning rod instead, and kind of just like sneak it behind her.
Hilarious.
So yeah, I would recommend watching the first 2.5 seasons of Teen Wolf and then just call it a day. Just pretend the rest never happened, unless you're super into the newer characters because they bring in a lot. They brought in a girl named Shelley Henning, who played Malia Tate, and she had like a big fucking role, but she fucking generic as hell. They brought in Dylan Sprayberry, who was supposed to be like this big star that they got for the show, and he I've never seen anything that he's been in since. And yeah, it's kind of one of those things. They also had 2 twins that were pretty prominent in the show, Liam and no, not Liam. What the fuck is his name? Come on, where the fuck are you? Basically, just watch it for fucking Lyndon Ashby. He's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so the twins are Charles Martinson and
Oh, Megan Tandy was in this.
Megan Tandy?
Yeah, she played. She was the chick on Batwoman.
Was she the second Batwoman?
No, not the. She was the one of the freaking cops.
Oh, okay. I think I remember her.
Yeah, her name. She played Brayden on there. She said she was in from season 3 to 5.
Okay, so
I think she was a sheriff or something.
What's that?
I think she might have been some type of sheriff or something, or cop.
If I remember her, I think she was because like in this show, what the fuck is his name? The Doctor, played by Seth Gillum. He has like a niece, but the Doctor's he's something. I don't remember the fuck he is. He's goddamn werecougar, I think. But he's like a veterinarian that Scott goes to for like sage advice. He's Zordon basically of goddamn Teen Wolf. And at some point, I don't know if it was because The Walking Dead had picked up and he was being pulled in two different directions as an actor, but they eventually brought in like his niece or someone who was like, I know Deaton and I can help you. And I think that was her character. It was just random Deaton replacement, gender swapped Deaton. I think, because she came in right around that time that I think he would have been missing shows. What was her character's name? Do you remember?
Yeah, Megan's character.
Yeah, Braden. Here it is. Yeah, she starts in season 3. So, I'm pretty sure like that's who she is. I'm pretty sure she's the veterinary assistant.
Gotcha.
Which is basically the sheriff. Although the sheriff is Lyndon Ashby.
Yeah, I mean clearly they they had the CW day. We're gonna cast some very good looking people here.
So Crystal Reed is older than I am. And she played 16 on the show. And that was in 2011. So how old was I? I was 26. She was 27. 26.
That is a gorgeous woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loved her thing. Hate that they canceled Swamp Thing. I wish they would have got the HBO Max thing together before they did.
Yeah. Maybe they can bring it back.
Thriving right now. That DC universe was a fail.
Warner Brothers needs to get their shit together. Yeah, but Holland Rodan is going to keep you interested physically. Lyndon Ashby is going to keep you in nostalgically. But Ian Bowen's going to keep you in for every other reason. Because that dude is hilarious as a villain. So. All right, yeah, that's it. This was a wrestling podcast at some point.
But if you stayed, also catch that Teen Wolf for the reasons why he mentioned.
First 3.5 seasons. Then pretend it ended. You don't want to go any deeper. Because it's not good.
Basically do what we did with Riverdale or like we did with Preacher. We tried for that second season. We tried, man. But
as soon as they killed off that one waitress that was in love with Preacher, it's like that was my connection. I wanted to see how devious and mischievous she would get to earn his love.
Yeah, man. They killed her off. They let the vampire smash old girl. Yeah, it was just then it started getting followed by the devil on the road trip. Like, yeah, it was a lot. Because old dude had the voice of God, yeah.
So the villain of the second half of season 3, this is why I fucking hate it, was a spirit. It was a Japanese demon spirit called the Nagutsune, N-O-G. So it's like the Kitsune, but it's a Nagutsune. So it's like the opposite of the Kitsune. That's why they brought in the girl with the electric powers with the fucking archery bullshit, because they had to fight the Nagutsune.
That's the thing. You could probably keep it. You could probably keep it to the wolf drama if you just keep the characters compatible. Because it's wolves, it's like we need something that trumps like a werewolf. Like what can do that?
A were-demon. And it feeds off of Scott's emotions.
Oh, God, you hate to see it. That happens to so many shows.
And then they also brought in the Oni, which are spirits summoned by Kira's mother, Noshohiko, to defeat the Nagutsune. Like, this is a show that's like, we want to be authentically Japanese when we talk about these characters. Yet all the Japanese people I know, they're named like Tim, Jenny. Yeah, like their last names are like what's his name? Nagutsune? No, names fuck me up. Naksume is his name. His name is Tim Naksume, and I know him. He's a good dude. But his name is Tim. It's not like the Englishified version of of the Japanese name. His name is literally Timothy. It's on his
Like
goddamn fucking birth certificate.
he was like, you know who that is? The Prince of Hong Kong. Like what? You talking about Fred?
Fred over there, that motherfucker owes me $25 from the last time we bought wings. But like, this is that show that tried to be like, this was woke before woke.
That's hilarious.
So like, you can be like, yeah, like a lot of things that became woke started in this goddamn show. Because like, even like Disney's better than that. Like they did a show called like Andy Mac that my niece used to love watching, and like the family was like biracial. The mother was like wholly Japanese, and like the two sisters or whatever they fucking were half Japanese, but they had very Americanized names because like that's a lot of what happens. Like they're, but like these people are like fourth generation Japanese, and they all have like the most Japanese names ever. Homie, I'm fourth generation Italian. I don't have any goddamn Italian names besides my last name. My name is Chad. I'm named after a 1980s fucking movie villain. I'm not Caspian or Andre or Emilio.
Yeah. Like in French, Chad. In Spanish, El Chad. In King of the Hill, Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
Ha-cha-cha-cha-chad. Funny enough, I had a friend lived across the street from me. His nickname for me was, in fact, El Chad, but the English version, The Chad. Because he watched, what the fuck was that movie? Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels, The Chad.
Yeah.
The Chad.
This is The Chad's boat. So, like, he starts calling me The Chad, and that was my nickname for, like, 7 years.
How they sold that better than Hot Drew Barrymore. The Chad was great.
Yeah. She really did sell that. But Lucy Liu, like Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu, oh my God.
Yo, yeah, man.
Whew. Lucy Liu is great in just about everything she's been in. I did not see that Sherlock show she was in.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm pretty sure she would have been the only reason to watch that show. So yeah, watch Teen Wolf. Good show for the first 3 seasons. First 2.5 seasons. And anything involving the Oni and the Nagutsume, like no, just stop because it gets so much weirder. Then you're dealing with chimeras and Nazi world. It just gets off the fucking
They
rails.
always do that with those shows, though. With the shows, the vampires and the werewolves, these royal families with these are the special wolves and the special vamps.
See, and yeah, we're gonna continue this conversation because Supernatural did that. I'm a big old Supernatural guy, but like they built up to the Armageddon. The devil was gonna end the world and yada yada yada. So season 5 ends, and like that was supposed to be the show. We wrote a 5-season show, and now it's over. What do we do? Well, we got 10 more years ahead of us. What the fuck do we do? We just ended the goddamn plot of the show. Like right now, one of the brothers went to hell, for God's sakes. We are done. Nope, got to find a way to get him out. What? So then season 6, what did season 6 become? Well, now we're dealing with the alpha monsters of all the goddamn fucking species. And then season 7 was the new god. It's like, whoa. And then the new god was actually the end of season 6. Season 7 brought in the Leviathan, and season 7 was pretty dope, not gonna lie. And then like season 8's like, all right, I think we're done. Like I don't know. Then season 9 and 10 like more apocalyptic. We closed the gates of heaven, and all the angels. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Finally, they're just like, we'll just play with God now. So the last 3 seasons were with God. Keep in mind, this show started because these motherfuckers couldn't kill a god dang skinwalker. These guys were struggling with what the fuck is that thing called? Not a Yeti. An X-Men villain is named after this. Why can't I remember the goddamn name?
Oh.
They're like tall and lanky. They're the villains of Until Dawn.
Damn it! What are they? It's not Shapeshifter, not Romancer.
It's the slang term is Skinwalker, but I can't fucking.
Yeah, because they used that in Smallville too when a girl was turning into a wolf from the Kawachi caves.
Yeah. Fuck. Let's see. Wendigos.
Yeah, they okay.
And ironically enough, I think the first episode of Supernatural featured Finn from Glee.
Mm.
Yeah, he was one of the first victims in the series franchise, and like the entire first season, like we got to find a way to kill this one demon. Well, we need a special gun or a special knife, and it's like, oh my god. Then season 15 is like, we got to find a way to kill God. Like we we're a long way from cutting off the heads of vampires here, aren't we? So yeah, Supernatural's still a good show. I would recommend it, but just again, it was one of those they kept finding new ways to trump each other. But the show was best when they're like, hey, we're just gonna resurrect the old men of letters and become like a hunter stable again. Like that was dope. And then they're like, no, God's sister's here, and it's like, what? So that's a thing. So yeah, check out Supernatural. Check out the first 2.5 seasons of Teen Wolf. We're done. RealNerdCorp.com, RealNerdCorp.com, Twitter, NERDCRP, Instagram is, well, we don't have one anymore. Marcus can be found on Twitter, ParadoxKid, ParadoxKid.
That's me.
You can also find him on his other podcast, mentioned earlier in the show, about 14,000 hours ago, The True Penny Show, TruePennyShow. You can find them on Twitter, at True Penny Show. Links to their podcasts are on their Twitter accounts, as I believe. I'm on Twitter at Chad Nerdcorp, CHEDNERDCORP, and on the Instagram at Chad's Photo at CHESPHOTOHUT. Next Sunday, Mark, or this coming Sunday, I would like to do our first Baywatch review.
Okay.
Do not know which episode we're going to pick. I'm going to Google that probably in the next couple hours. I'm going to get something to eat. Then I'm going to Google that. Then I'm going to go to bed. And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to do some work. So I'm going to figure out like what's the most bonker-ass episode of Baywatch possible. That's what we're starting with.
I do remember that episode where they had, I forgot if it was some type of festival or whatever, but I do remember that episode where they had that volleyball tournament.
Okay, but see, Mark, you got to remember, these are the other two episodes at least that we're thinking of. We're thinking about the episode where David Hasselhoff falls in love with a woman in a matter of 6 hours, only for her to be married, and for him to actually say on air in the script, I thought she could have been the one. Bitch, you knew her for 48 minutes.
There was also the one where they got trapped in a safe and it fell in the water.
Oh, that's a candidate. That's dumb. But we also got to remember, there's a Hulk Hogan episode. WCW. Where Vader and Harley Race and Sid, I think, were was it Sid? I think it may have been Sid. But like Vader was one of the villains on the show. Marcus, like, how can we not?
I swear to God. In the midst of us doing this damn Baywatch rewind, I'm going to find a way to get that damn episode of Walker had him fighting Sting. It has to be done.
I think we can make it. We can make it an allowance. Because Sting's he's from California.
Sting playing a biker dude that's also like this drug guy. Then getting into it with Chuck freaking Norris, and my freaking sore spot like that gets me every time when wrestlers show up in shows and do their moves.
Did he hit the death drop? Did he hit the death drop?
Yes.
The only thing that would have been better. The only thing that would have been better if he hit a splash on the Walker.
Oh, hilarious.
In the bikes, like he's in between like the two handlebars, and Sting just splashes him. That would have been fantastic. So we're gonna record that Sunday, and then next Sunday we're gonna do our first whatever that wrestling idea I had was, where we look back at TNA's history.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be our next 2 weeks. So we'll see how these goes, and they'll both be pilots for future episodes. So we'll see how it goes. So Marcus Green, I'm Chad Portal. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for giving us a chance. Remember, as always, to watch more wrestling. And Marcus, finally, take us home.
Good night, me.